and welcome to Koala Dolls. I'm Tessa and these are my dolls, and today these lovely ladies and gentlemen need a bit of a spa day. The first thing is you are going to need some dolls. I think I have that covered. These are dolls that I've purchased from eBay, op shops or thrift stores, or found on Facebook Marketplace, and they're all in varying states of condition. We have some whose hair is very grotty and some whose hair is very sleek and soft. So this will be a really interesting spa day today. First thing is list of materials. So for this you will need some combs, shampoo and conditioner. I just use the stuff that I use on my hair because I like the smell of it. Some people say that using baby shampoo and conditioner is better. This is what I use. You will need a kettle or, you know, some other way of boiling water because we will be using boiling water, and you will need a towel. All right. First things first is let's get these ladies and gentlemen ready for the bath. So that means sorting out the ones that are already in the nude and, you know, getting the other ones ready for their swim. Right, let's go. Prepared, I am going to fill my sink. I forgot to mention before, you also need dishwashing liquid for this, and this is what I will be using. Hashtag non-spawn, it's just what I had. So in this sink I'm going to put lukewarm water. I'm not using boiling hot water because some of these Barbies are from the time when they would have had glue in their hair. Thanks, Mattel. And I don't want that to leak out, so just like lukewarm water. This sink, however, is going to have boiling water because this is the one I'm going to wash all their clothes in. So I will fill the sinks and I will see you in a minute. And voila, as if by magic, my sinks are full. So now I'm just gonna pull up these girls in and let them have a bit of a soak and a scrub. Meanwhile, their clothing, maybe not this one because I don't want to ruin it, but their clothing is going to go in here for a hand wash. Okay, so I have just quickly wiped down and rinsed all the Barbies, and the water's gone a little bit murky. So that shows me that I've actually made progress, which is good. And then the clothes, which I will leave to soak for a little while longer. Something is leaching dye into the water. The water has gone a shade of brownish pink. So yeah, that's very great. Also, the seals on my sinks aren't very good because they tend to slowly go down with the water. But anyway, I'll leave these to soak a little bit longer. Now my Barbies. These girls are going to need a proper hair treatment. So to do this, I'm going to and it's got a bit of a dirty face. To do this, I'm going to give a plop of shampoo onto each one. Really scrub it in there and let it soak in to get any gunk, years of build up from being played with or stored or whatever out of the hair. And then I will rinse the shampoo out in the water. Hair's shampooed. The clothes have been soaking for a while, as well as the accessories. Look how pink the water is. Okay, so I'm going to work on these while the dolls are having their hair treatment. So I'm just going to let the water out because the next part I want to do is a cool rinse of the clothes, just to get any soap out of them and make sure that, you know, they're okay. So I need my tap over here, thank you. Nice cold water for this one. While they're having their rinse, I'm going to show you why you need the towel. I have spilt water everywhere from resting the dolls on the side. So I'm just going to towel that all up. And spread that out. Oops. She can have a cold rinse, surely she'll be fine with that. Anyway, toweling up all my mess off my kitchen bench. There we go, spreading that out. And if you have yes, I'm looking in the cupboards, so that's what the banging is, don't worry. But if you have a salad spinner, now would be a good time to get that out. So, salad spinner is like this. It has a spinny thing on top. It has like a mesh sort of sieve-like bowl inside, and mine's a little bit broken. I picked it up for $1 or $2 at the op shop, so surely you can find one yourself like that. And it's basically like the spin cycle of your washing machine. The intended purpose is for salad when you rinse your lettuces and whatnot, but you know, it's the perfect size for a spin cycle, like I said. So my newly rinsed doll clothes, I've never actually tried it in a salad spinner before, but I'll just put a handful of them and let's have a look. Why is it not spinning? Did I break it? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's try again. Oh, that's better. Oh, it's got rubber on the bottom, so I'll move it to a more stable surface than this towel. And you can see all the water that it's spun out of the clothes already. Obviously they're not going to be dry, but it just gets those extra drips off. And then I'm going to get my... What are you doing? I'm going to get my cooling rack. Actually, this is the rack from my air fryer. It's not even a cooling rack for baking. And I'm going to pop it on my towel over here and then spread out the clothes. I want to do it on the cooling rack so that it gets a bit of air circulation underneath them. I did not think this through as far as, oh, one's a bit dirty. Ah, Kira Bell. Anyway, put these on. If you want to follow my dog on Instagram though, her I'll put the link to that on the description. She is very cute, but also very annoying. That little sound that you made before was her trying to tell me to stop doing what I'm doing and give her attention. But we are busy, little dog. Okay, I'm gonna do the same with the rest of the clothes. That's all the water that it spun off them. Woohoo! And I guess I'll be back once I've done that. Okay, so I have finished doing all the clothes. I had to get another bath mat out because I ran out of room. And yeah, this is how it's looking at the moment. Okay, back to the dolls. The shampoo's been soaking for a while, so now I'm going to use this basin here, this sink, to wash them out. But first, I think I need to entertain her. So I will be back. Okay, so now I've shampooed their hair, rinsed it all out. A lot of their hair is still going to look quite rough because we haven't actually done anything to detangle or soften their hair yet. We've literally just put shampoo in to hopefully get rid of some of whatever nasties are lurking in these 20-plus-year-old dolls. Except for her, she's not that old. But the rest of them are, I think. So now is the part that I think is going to be super time consuming, and that is the detangling of the hair. To do this, you will want a conditioner that has a good amount of slip. So slip is like how slippery the conditioner is, right? Some conditioners, not too slippery. This Tresemme one, very slippery. So, you know, it's what you want because that's going to help the fibers of the hair to move against each other and be easier to detangle. Human shampoos are obviously designed for human hair. They work on the hair, they soften the hair. It's not going to have the exact same effect as on doll hair, which is plastic. So just bear that in mind. The point of having the slippery conditioner is, like I said, to help with the detangling. And also choose one that you like the smell of because your doll room is going to smell like this stuff no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to start by individually putting on a glob of conditioner, similarly to how I did with the shampoo, and just really rubbing it all into the hair. I will time lapse this part. Let's go. You might want a snack break because the next part is going to be long and tedious. So I'm going to have my yogurt and then we will get onto the detangling. Abracadabra. Okay, time for the detangling. Now, some people like to use a metal pet brush or comb, which is fine. Probably a good idea, to be honest, because as you can see, when I've used this comb in the past, it has snapped one of the times. However, I do not own one of those, so I tend to use these. I do like these for two reasons. One, this one has a slightly wider tooth and then a thinner tooth, so I start with the wider tooth to really get the maths and the knots and things out, and then go to the thinner tooth. And two, I like this one because I believe these ones are even thinner once again, or maybe that's just me imagining it. So, you know, either way, but I use these combs almost exclusively at the moment. So I'm going to just start with this Teresa here and very gently start at the ends so that I don't pull too much hair up. And then once I've got the ends feeling smooth, I'll move up the hair and so on and so forth. So I'll do this girl on camera, and then any interesting dolls I will film as well, but I'm not going to film all of them because there's like, I don't know, a whole bunch, and it, can you get out of the splash zone, because that's not, yeah, anyway, all of you get out of the splash zone. Yeah, because it's just going to take forever and it's not going to be particularly enthralling viewing, but I will do this one first. So as you can see, I'm a little bit stuck. As you get closer to the head, it tends to get harder because the knots have been there longer and they're thicker. So maybe like separating the hair out into chunks sometimes helps so that you haven't got as much to comb through. And once I've fully combed through this, I will leave the conditioner in there to make it even softer. Again, don't know if it actually works like that because doll hair is not human hair, it is plastic. But, you know, in theory. Plus I'll have all these other dolls to do, so I'm not going to rinse them all out in between each one. Oh yeah. You'll get some breakage because that's just how it is. You're not going to be able to avoid that, unfortunately. Now, Teresa was always my favourite character as a kid because my name is not, but can be, short for Teresa. So even though Barbie's the one that always looked the most like me, being a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl that I was as a kid, Teresa had the coolest name, in my opinion. Alright, I'm going to do the rest of hers off camera and I will show you the end result. There we go, a quick shot of her hair now that it's all been combed out. Nice and smooth. And now all these ones. This might take a while. Okay, so I have combed out all their hair. Some of them look like they are going to have silkier hair than others, but the process is not done yet. There's a couple up here as well. And of course, Mr. Ken. The one doll that I really had trouble with was Madison here, so I ended up just giving up. Because her hair was so beautiful and curly originally, it's really matted up over time. So I think I'm going to reroot her at some point. Because, yeah, I'm not going to be able to salvage that, unfortunately. But all the other girls, including this one whose hair was quite terrible to begin with, have all had their hair detangled. Right, I'm going out for lunch and then I'm going to just let these, shush Kira, I'm going to just let these girls have the conditioner soaking in their hair. It's not going to hurt them to stay in there, and I will rinse it out when I return for the next step. conditioner rinsed out. I'm just going to move Ken and Madison to the side because they don't need to be part of this process, but all the other girls I am lying out and I'm going to style their hair. I'll be using a technique that I saw on Brooke's channel, X Canadensis, using these foam curling rods. She used them to style the hair on a couple of her rainbow high dolls and it just turned out absolutely gorgeous. So I thought I would try it on one or two of these dolls. Another thing that I'll be using, which I'll show you in a second, are some straws to get that curled fringe or bangs look. So here I have one of the Barbies. I'm just brushing out her hair, finding the part line, and I will be wrapping the hair around the curling rod and kind of using that to set the hair in place. And now I'm just adding the finishing touch to her hairstyle, and you know what? I quite like it. I think I'll leave it like this. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to be boiling her hair to set the style. I am boiling my kettle here. Bubble, bubble, boil and trouble, or something like that. To do a boil wash, you will need a heat-proof mug or jug in order to put the hot water in. For the boil wash, I just dip their hair in and out. If I wanted their hair to be completely straight, then I poured boiling hot water over the top of it afterwards to help it lay down flat. You just have to be really careful in this process because I burnt my fingers because boiling water is hot. So yeah, here I am pouring the boiling water over the top just to really help it lay down flat, and then I blast it with some cold water to set the style, I guess. And I did it over and over and over again with all the different Barbies. Just make sure that if they have bangs or fringe that they are laying down the way that you want them to be, because how it dries is how it's going to stay. So you want to use the hot water to set the hair in place and the cold water to stop the head from heating up too much and melting the glue inside the head, and also to just convince the hairs to stay where you put them, I guess. I don't know, it works. I suppose it's a bit like using heat on human hair to style it. Keeps it in place. Here is the straw method I saw on my froggy stuff. I got a straw from my takeaway dinner and cut it up, and then one of them I cut through so that the cylinder kind of opened up, and the whole piece of straw I looped the bangs or the fringe of the Barbie around it, and then the other piece with the split in it I kind of put over the top as a cover. And then I boil washed the hair like this. The reason is because that was how fringes or bangs were styled in the 90s, and a lot of these Barbies had those big voluminous fringes that you know, I wanted to restore, because either through time or other restorations and boil washings by other collectors, these fringes had lost their impact. So yeah, this is how I kind of brought that curl back into Pearl Beach Barbie's hair. I think I also did it for Horse Riding Barbie. Yeah. This whole process took about 2 days to complete, but it's not quite over yet because all of the girls still have wet hair. We need to wait for it to dry. But Madison, I'm a bit concerned about your hair. What happened? Anyway, let's get all dressed up and we'll be back momentarily. Thanks for watching Koala Dolls. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.